That was a cute little monkey. Beautiful, Anne. Thank you for sharing your music with us again today. So later in this service, we will be hearing from a Buddhist monk who will be talking a little bit about what Buddhists refer to as the monkey mind. And this is a term that has become popular in our larger culture. So maybe you have heard of this term and maybe you have not. But if you think about going to the zoo and watching the monkeys, the thing that they are most likely to be doing is chattering back at each other, back and forth, back and forth. And we're going to be talking a little bit today about how that chattering in our brains can sometimes get in the way of our spiritual practices, and also how to make friends with our monkey mind. But I don't want to get too heavy in the intellectual and spiritual department without also noting that these are things that anyone can do, from littlest to oldest among us. And this week's spiritual practice challenge is one that I think is well designed for people of all ages. And it is a practice that I learned from another UU minister named Scotty McIntyre Johnson, who was a minister in College Station and a friend of mine coming up in the UU world. I said growing up, but it happened in my young adulthood, but I did do quite a bit of growing up. And for praying in color, you want to start with a blank piece of paper. And on that piece of paper, you're going to write a word. Now, this word could be a word that represents something important in your life right now, something you want to focus on, something you're seeking in your life, a word that represents a hope or a need, or a word that represents the holy to you. Now, I am going to choose the word joy this week. And I invite you to choose whatever word suits you best. So I have written my word joy on my piece of paper. And then you are going to take your word and you're going to take some markers or some crayons or some colored pencils, whatever you like best. And you are going to trace an outline of this word over and over. And as you do, you will think about this word, what it means in your life, how you might find more of it, how this word can show up for you. And you can draw all lines. You can do like I'm doing here and choose to make some different kinds of designs in your outline. The colors you choose are up to you. Sometimes you can choose those words with intention. Sometimes those colors can mean something, represent something. Sometimes they can be perfectly random. Either one is fine. And if you're like me, you are quiet in the mind a lot more easily when your hands are busy. So part of why this praying in color is such a great exercise for a day to talk about your monkey mind is that sometimes to quiet your monkey mind, you give it something else to do. So this week, I encourage you to practice praying in color. Another way that you can use this practice that I think is really beautiful is instead of a word of meaning, you can choose a name of someone that you have been thinking about, someone in your life who is maybe in need of extra love and extra care. And you can use this mindfulness exercise to create something beautiful, a tangible reminder of that love and care. And then you can send it to them with or without an explanation of what you have been doing. Later in the week, I look forward to seeing some pictures of what you have done. I hope that this exercise calms your mind and brings you joy.